let me know if you need any help. With all the other conferences.
Getting Canberra at the moment.
Well, I must say I was very surprised when Maryanne came home one day and said she wanted to do an art exhibition. It was very out of character for her. It's not that she lacks artistic sensibility, it's just she's never demonstrated artistic drive. Those of us who, I mean, there are many people who sort of romanticise the artistic drive, but those of us who live it know that it's a function of megalomania. And that artistic output equals talent multiplied by self-involvement. Which is why it really surprised me when Maryanne said she wanted to do an exhibition, because I thought I made it very clear when we got married that there was only room for one megalomaniac in this relationship. I said to her, I'm happy for you to wear the pants, but the black skivvy is mine. 2 for $20, Target, women's wear. I thought it would make me look like Leonard Cohen, but people say it makes me look like a black wiggle. Anyway, Maryanne has assured me that this is a one-off. She won't be doing it again. So those of you who know her will not be surprised that this one-off in her, this one-off artistic binge in this century from Maryanne Voyazis is in fact not about her. It's about her relationships, and it's about someone else. It's about her mother, Tina, and it's called Beauty in This. Tina had a particular talent for seeing the beauty in things. She needed to, because she worked for 30 years in the Belconnen Mall. Surely the ugliest piece of urban planning this side of Minnesota. They hammered away for 30 years running a shop there, and in that edifice of bogan consumerism, her mother sort of shone as a beacon of grace and warmth and authenticity, and people who started off as customers ended up being friends. And the Westfield Corporation were not kind to them, sort of bullying them and increasing the rent whenever they looked like making a profit, and they got out with barely the shirts on their backs. But if Westfield was not kind to Tina, God certainly was, up until those last couple of years. In the course of her life, at badge draws and raffles at the Lennox Club, she won 19 chickens, 29 electrical appliances, and a trip to Greece. How she managed to raise 4 girls while working 6 days a week in the Belconnen Mall is a mystery still, particularly for those who are directly involved. But she did it. Partly, I think Maryanne did a lot of the heavy lifting, frankly, as the oldest daughter. But she had other talents. Tina had a wonderful talent for gratitude to start with. I remember 10 years ago when we were living in the United States, Tina came and visited, and she got off the flight. She got a cheap flight via Korea. It took it 40 hours, and I said, Tina, how was the flight? She said, oh, it was wonderful. We had beautiful seats right at the back of the plane. Tina had this kind of cheeky kind of sense of humour. I remember it was about a year ago, and the dementia was setting in. She lost her ability to speak English. She could speak her mother tongue Greek still. And she showed up at the door, and I had this new shirt on, and I said to her, Tina, how do you like my new shirt? And she said something in Greek. She sort of mumbled something, and Maryanne translated and said, take it off and I'll tell you. Which I found alarming. But above all, Tina had a great talent for love, not in the Hollywood sense of the word, but in the sort of ordinary day-to-day business of looking after the people we live with. The nappies we change, the families we can't choose, the people we need to forgive day by day just to make life livable and safe in the homes we live in. And it's this talent, this capacity for love that made Tina a hero in the eyes of her daughters, and Maryanne in particular. Maryanne's often said that everything she's got in this world she got from her mother. And so those last 2 years were very difficult. watching her mother die of Alzheimer's was simply the hardest thing that Maryanne's ever done. Tina didn't sort of drift nicely off with the Pixies. The last 6 months, there was a lot of screaming, out of fear, out of pain, out of confusion. And 2 months before Tina died, it got too much at home there, so we put her into a hostel down in Western Creek there, where the screaming continued for a while, notwithstanding the sedatives, until late November, one afternoon, about a week before she died, she suddenly started to go quiet and still. And we realised she was on the way. So the sisters called Louise from Los Angeles, and Louise came, got on the first plane she could, and arrived on Thursday, the 3rd of December. And then on Friday, the 4th of December, at 4:30 in the afternoon, with the sun streaming in over the Brindabellas and through the windows, and with her daughters around and with her husband Mark by her side, Tina finally let go. And the sisters all report the same sensation, the sensation that their mother's spirit had all of a sudden released itself from the pain-racked body and was all of a sudden everywhere in the room, in the sunlight coming through the window, in the flowers, in the vases there, and in the air itself. And that's what you see in this photographic exhibition. The sunlight, the flowers, and the love that was in the room at the time. And so it remains for me to thank you all for coming, particularly those who've come long distances to attend this. It's not an easy-going exhibition. It does remind us of our mortality and the mortality of our parents. Most of us will live long enough to see our parents die, and that's the best case scenario. And so we are here for a short time, and not always a good time. And for me, the best one can do in this world is try and put a bit of beauty into this, a bit of beauty in this world. And I go to extreme lengths to do this. I write very big fat books, and I drive very long distances to play very small gigs. Tina managed to put some beauty in this world by giving birth to Maryanne, and Maryanne puts beauty in this world simply by showing up, which is annoying, really. Anyway, you know what it's like, so sing along with this song. If you've got someone who's special in your life, maybe your old pet cockatoo, might even be your wife, you'll know what it's like, you'll understand that I've got a very special girl, her name's Maryanne. 'Cause you know what it's like, you know what it's like. You may not know my Maryanne, but you know what it's like. My girl Maryanne, walking down the street, she got a smile to make the day of everyone she meets. She's got lots of friends, they all think she's great. Dogs and children like her too. Dogs and kids have taste. 'Cause you know what it's like, you know what it's like. You may not know my Maryanne, but you know what it's like. Well, she's got long brown curly hair and slightly pigeon toes. She's got a song upon her lips everywhere she goes. I like listening, though she is tone deaf. And I like the way she walks along, right foot after left. Because you know what it's like, you know what it's like. You may not know my Maryanne, but you know what it's like. Well, she goes shopping at Salvation Army stores, gets better stuff than you would find in a shopping mall. Picture frames and cups and plates, records of jazz and folk, 22 ashtrays in the house. We don't even smoke, 'cause you know what it's like. You know what it's like. You may not know my Maryanne, but you know what it's like. Now lately I've been feeling great. Something must be wrong. I've been getting home early and staying straight and writing boring songs. What's an artist's life if there is no angst? Did you enjoy your dinner, dear? It was lovely, thanks. Because you know what it's like. You know what it's like. You may not know my Maryanne, but you know what it's like. Well, Mia, sing these wholesome songs up on stage at night. Maybe one day I'll be a hit with the Christian right. But I don't make much dough in a world of greed. So long as I got my Maryanne, I got all I need. Sing along. You know what it's like. You know what it's like. You may not know my Maryanne, but you know what it's like. You know what it's like. Please, thank you very much. Big round of applause for Maryanne and the Nishi Gallery. Thanks for coming. Enjoy your night.